The Masterclass series is graciously funded by the National Endowment for the Arts. Art Works. In an age where college funding is limited, education resources are questionable, and arts programs are being cut, the Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, better known as CAAPA, has stepped up to the plate. Inspired by CAAPA as part of its commitment in supporting classical music education and performance artists throughout the United States and abroad, we offer the Masterclass series. CAAPA marries serious music students with acclaimed music masters of color, targeting historically black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, high school performing arts schools, and music conservatories, including the universities of Alabama State, Clark Atlanta, Fisk, Hampton, Howard, Lane College, Morgan State, North Carolina Central, Spelman College, Virginia State, and Xavier University of Louisiana. Since its launching in 2014, the Masterclass series helps students work on technique, improve stage presence, fine-tune performances, and build self-confidence. While emphasis is placed on classical music students to participate in the Masterclass series, audiences and faculty members are also encouraged to attend the free-to-the-public sessions. An exciting and fresh way to help CAAPA bring color to the classics. The Coalition for African Americans in the Performing Arts, in partnership with Alabama State University, presents the Masterclass series, the premier Black classical music masterclass series. Critics have said that soprano Kimberly Eileen Jones's voice typified the evening. The personality she radiated from the stage could have been felt on Columbus Avenue, and that her heartfelt voice rode the brighter wings of faith to the heavens. The soprano has performed in many noteworthy operas, including Boris Godunov, Cosi fan tutte, John Giovanni, Orlando, Die Fledermaus, Amistad, Fedora, Fire Shut Up in My Bones, Laurentia, and Acis and Galatea, just to name a few. She has received grants from 3 Arts, George London, Sullivan, Lucia Albanese, and 3 grants from the McAllister Awards. She is also a Luminarts Prize winner and received a Best Supporting Actress nomination by the NAACP Awards. Ms. Jones is on the voice faculty at Roosevelt and DePaul Universities. Facilitating today's masterclass is soprano Kimberly E. Jones. Hello to everyone and welcome to CAAPA's virtual Masterclass series. My name is Angela Renée Simpson. I am the program director and the host for this series. I would like to thank the Alabama State University and its music department for agreeing to partner with us today in bringing color to the classics. To the ASU students who are observing via Zoom, we will have a short question and answer session after Ms. Jones finishes working with Ms. Gadson. Please feel free to use the chat button for any questions you may have. And for those who are watching on Facebook Live, please post your questions in the comments. Now, without further ado, I bring to you our music master, soprano Kimberly E. Jones, followed by ASU senior baritone, Mr. Maalik Camp. Ms. Jones, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, thank you so much. It's so wonderful to be here. And there's nothing more exciting to me than hearing young talent. So I'm so happy to be a part of this today. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And Mr. Camp, whenever you are ready, I will leave you to it.
Morning. Vieni alla finestra, oh mio tesoro, vieni a consolar il pianto mio. Sende a merinar qualche ristoro davanti agli occhi tuoi, tu caro dolce, che insieme tu viso che lo poggi in mezzo al dolore. Non è stagione mia, come crudele, lasciati arrendere, mio bello amore.
Very, very good. Excellent. How long you been working on that aria?
Almost a year now, about 7 months.
Okay. Now, have you listened to any certain baritones? Do you have any favorite baritones that you've listened to their interpretation do this?
Not a favorite, but I do have a favorite video. I apologize, I don't remember the name of it, but he's kind of dressed in a what do you call it, a raincoat, and he's just chilling against the wall, and he's real cool with stuff. So I just try to keep it simple like that. You know, since I'm wooing somebody, I don't want to be overly.
Uh-huh. So a quick question for you. Did you say that have you seen the whole opera? Have you seen Don Giovanni before?
I have not seen the whole entire opera just yet, but I have seen different scenes, and I do love the play. It's very interesting.
Well, I tell you, for Mozart, who is obviously a master, it's one of my favorite operas. It has some of the most beautiful ensembles and arias for all of the voice types there. It's very special about this aria here because even though obviously Giovanni is not the most pleasant person, it's probably right, and that's putting it nicely, right? This is a place where he's kind of obviously trying to pretend like he's very sensitive and he's trying to be very seductive. So there's so many different colors and different things that you could do with your voice. Now, I think I could hear some of that. I know we're listening through a computer and it's hard to hear exactly everything you're doing. But I could hear some of the dynamics and some of the colors you were using. So bravo for that. Let's see. So sometimes I must admit, even though I'm a soprano, I have many men students and I enjoy singing in their register too. So I hope you don't mind. If a few times I go into your register, okay?
Every now and again, I try to go up into the upper registers just to see if I can do it.
Okay. So even, let's see, let me ask you, okay, because so I see for the music, the dynamic is piano. When you take your first breath, do you feel like your throat is as open as it could be? Like, is your first sound, are you thinking of a mezzo piano? Are you thinking of a piano? What's the dynamic you're thinking there?
I know the dynamic is piano, but I kind of think of mezzo piano just because I want to push the note forward. That's been something I've been working on, is keeping it from being in the back of the throat.
Okay. Let's see. So just like things we've been, or at least that I've been hearing for years, do you always think about drinking in the sound? Almost just like it's always an open throat, kind of the beginning of a yawn, right? Not the end of it, because the end of a yawn, you're kind of closing the throat up, right? When you're doing this vowel, even though it's like de, do you think of a little bit of an opposition in your throat? So like
Yes,
if you do, what was that, sorry?
Oh, yes, ma'am. That's
Okay.
what
Let's see, so if you go, so do me a favor, because I can see your body and everything. Can you take a nice low breath for me? Think about it, just right around the belly button, breathing with your mouth open, and do that for me, and just go, duh, for me.
breathing with the mouth open.
Yeah, please.
Duh.
Yes. Now, did you feel like you did that when you sang the first sentence?
I could have did a little.
Yeah. So, I mean, no problem. That's what this is for, right? So even if you do me a favor, can you just speak the first sentence, just taking that nice low breath, like vieni, alla. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Vieni, alla, finestra.
Great. So if we were to do it like on one pitch, like, let's see. Vieni alla finestra. Can you kind of exaggerate like I did? See, I was trying to sound like you. Get like nice warm tones, right? Think about the direction of where the line is going, even though it's just on that one pitch, okay?
Yes, ma'am. All right. Vieni alla finestra.
Okay, so lovely. Now, do you feel, in a way, do you feel like you are holding your air, or do you feel like you're releasing your air as much as you can to get to the end of the sentence?
When I first started singing, I felt the latter way, that I was pushing it all out, trying to get to the end, but this felt somewhere in between. It felt more comfortable.
Okay.
It felt like I wasn't pushing. If that
Okay. So let's see. I always there's something about the word push. I'd rather be like release or yes, because I try to think just like when we're talking, right? We just normally do it and like the air just naturally comes out, right? Sometimes, as I think we all do sometimes, we'll hold the air and that way it's not as free as it could be. And this is a very short sentence too. Let's do this on the actual notes without the piano for a second. Can you do vieni, alla? And can you stop right there at the Allah for me?
Allah. Yes, ma'am. Vieni, alla.
Okay, so I like the top note. Now as you're connecting, do you feel like the air is going down? Vieni, alla, alla. instead of alla and kind of holding it up. I'm trying to send that. The air is always going down and out. Try that for me. Just think about your air like going on like a slide, like you were when you're a kid, when you slid down the slide. Think about that. One more time. Very good, very good. So your E vowel for finestra, is there any way we can warm that up just a little bit too? Think about a little bit of a pucker, see if that's comfortable. You can go finestra, Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Excellent. Okay, great. Okay, so with the lovely accompanist, is there any way we could try it again? And I'll stop you in a moment. Excellent. Good, good, good. Okay, okay. Great, okay. Wonderful, let's see. Now, when you get to finestra, I always like to think of the end of sentences being like, almost like a comma. Finestra! Because it's almost like the voice is still moving, right? Even though we're being silent because there's a rest there, right? Do you think of there being movement there after you get off finestra? And that's going to help a little bit down here too with the support.
Okay.
Yeah, think about like how full that sound is still, even though you are finishing the sentence. Try that again, and then I have to ask you something about the omi. Try that again, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Great, 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 great. Now for the next phrase. So I see there's a little bit, I always like to call it the horizontal. So when you go to the tesoro, I think I saw, oh mio te. What happened? Yeah, so listen, I'm all about inner smiles because that lifts up the cheeks and that kind of lifts up the sound. I totally agree with that. We want to make sure that the horizontal position does not interrupt the line. Is there any way you can keep it? Oh mio tesoro. See how it's just kind of up and down? Now you could do it with a smile. I call it like a V. Io tesoro. Instead of this kind of popping a little bit. See if it's comfortable for me. Can you just do O mio tesoro?
Okay. Oh mio tesoro.
Okay, good, good, good. Let's do this for a second. Very good. When you're doing mio, how deep in your body, because it's my treasure, right? My treasure. So for the word mio, let's even say that. Mio. Say it like really exaggerated for a minute.
Okay. Mio.
Yeah, absolutely. Mio tesoro.
Mio tesoro.
Yeah, fabulous. Is there any way you could give me that kind of feeling when you're singing out those words? Think about the crescendo there probably is. Oh, mio tesoro. It's very playful too, right? Because, you know, he's someone not to be trusted. Can you try that again?
According to his track list.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Good, good. Can you try the mio tesoro for me again? Lovely.
Oh mio tesoro.
Great, great, great. Do me a favor. Stop your mouth position on te, because a little bit is, you're still doing that, just a little bit. And I think it's interrupting the like, mio te.
I'm instinctually doing it, but I'm trying to fight it, so I got you.
Just one more time. Good, good.
Oh mio tesoro.
Yes! Yes, yes. Now, to my ear, and I know we're in a computer, but to my ear, that's continuing the line instead of all of a sudden a te. So I like that if it's comfortable for you. Okay, why don't we go on? The next line after that? And any questions, let me know. Okay. We do the next line. Let's say, de vieni contro.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Devieni consolar il pianto mio.
Now, lovely. And I love the spin at the end. Have you ever thought about doing that sentence in one line?
One line of breath, or
Let's see, because I think I heard you take a breath before il, I believe, correct?
yes, ma'am.
Have you thought about what it feel like? Can we see what it feels like to just go right through it? And if we
Yes, ma'am.
don't do it, we don't do it.
Devieni consolar il pianto mio.
Okay. So what did that feel like to you?
More connected, more the God.
Oh, yes. Yes. I mean, I don't
And I
think
was
I've.
able to get a better spin I was able to get a better spin at the end. It felt more connected, especially with Neil, because I think I kind of broke it up beforehand.
Absolutely. I kind of think of that line. It's almost like I'm thinking of the foot being on the accelerator, because you're just slowly, you're just going to the end of the phrase, right? You know you're not going to run out. And the funny thing is, I don't know about for you, but sometimes when I feel like I'm going to run out of breath, I just take a step. Supposedly movement distracts you or something, but it doesn't sound like you're going to run out.
That.
Oh, please do. Oh, yes. That's my secret. But no, try that. See if can you do that again, and just really see if you can just kind of keep riding the wave, riding the breath there. Lovely.
Devieni consolar il pianto mio.
Great. Keep going. Wonderful. Thank you. Lovely. Again, have you thought about connecting to that, doing that in one phrase?
Yes, ma'am. Let's try it.
Yeah, let's try it.
Let's try it.
Lovely. Okay. Did that feel a little different? I don't think you took a breath, correct?
No, ma'am, I didn't. I should have took a better breath on the onset of the line there. Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh. Good. Let's see. So at the end of the ristoro, what is your, let's see, what is your dynamic for that? Are you crescendoing to the high E, or are you ristoro, or are you kind of backing off? What are you thinking there?
It's the latter. I'm crescendoing to the high E and then backing off of it, just because it's the end of the phrase.
Okay, let's see.
And it's restored. It's like restoration restoral, so you want to be a bit gentle with it.
Okay.
You don't
So
want
why
to go full throttle.
All right. So why don't we just do the word ristoro? Can we do a? Yes, do that for me, please.
Ristoro.
So how do you feel on the re? It's like the first part of the word re. Is that really settled there for you to go up to that fourth there? Restore. Just do those two notes for me. Restore.
Restore.
So a little bit, something about the E could be a little bit more centered and round. Even if you, I know we're not supposed to touch our face, but if you pucker the lips a little bit like re. Can you do that for me 3 times? Re. Now, do you feel like you're sending your air through that sound, or do you feel like you're holding back a little bit? Re, like a wave.
I feel like I'm holding back a little bit.
Yeah, use ristoro. Use the flipped R. It's almost like a little schwa before the R, right? Restore. Do that for me. Do me a favor. Do that ristoro for me.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice open throat, almost like an old mouth throat.
Ristoro.
Yeah, yeah. Very good. Okay, I like that a lot. Okay, so can we try, let's try that whole sentence again.
Starting at Zenobia.
Yes, okay, here, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Let's see. Let's see. Did you take a breath there? Okay, yeah, it's hard. It's a little bit difficult to hear. Okay, do me a favor. So when you do that phrase, can you just kind of outstretch your arms as you're going through the phrase to open the chest up and to really do that line even more? Same line. Good. Great. Excellent. Keep going. Great. Lovely. Good, good, good. Let's see. Davanti agli occhi. I'm trying to see. I wanted to make sure that you said the double gli occhi. I wanted to see if I could hear more of that. From the G, the davanti a. Is there any way I could just hear you do the davanti a? Think of the air still going up when you go back down to that A. Just davanti a. Is there any way, very good. Is there any way the V for davanti could be a little bit more forward? Davanti, davanti al. Let's see. So a little bit, do you feel like you're doing dav, or do you feel like you're reaching up a little bit to the D, to the fifth?
5 minutes, Miss Jones, 5 minutes.
Okay, let's keep going. Let's see, let's do that one more time. Try not to think about reaching up to any note. Whenever I see something higher, I think of it being on the same level or going down. Avanti alla. Okay. Beautiful. Yes. Great. Keep going. Great. But wait, your next entrance. Yeah. Lovely. So for this next verse, do you feel like it's a different kind of dynamic? Do you feel like you want to do it softer? Do you want to do it more sweet? Okay. And again, it's hard to tell in the computer. Go ahead, sorry.
When I think of this next section, I always think of maybe piano or double piano.
Okay.
Just to give off the appearance of sweetness and ease my way into the next section.
Okay, because if it's softer, it just means that the text has to be just even a little bit more intense, right? Just a little bit more electric. But yeah, it would be a nice softer quality, would be great. Okay, sorry, go ahead, start again. Thank you. Lovely, I love the quality. Even if you could play more with the words like, sweet and sugar, right? Dolce, zucchero, zucchero. Really feel like you can make some magic out of there. And più dolce. It's just so beautifully written, right? Why don't we keep going for now? How about non essere gioia?
So in order to do that, would I just add a little bit more dynamic to certain words as zucchero or corte?
To be a little bit softer?
No, to make those play with those words and make them a little bit more intense. Would I just add a little dynamic, like a method of or something?
Yes, especially for words like, zucchero and dolce. Obviously, they're both like very sweet, very, tender words. Think about how you would even say them in a sentence. There's something about, this is so sweet. There's something about the way the voice changes when you say something like that. Now, of course, both of them are in a high D, I believe, right? Pretty much. Yes. Right. So, what is your vowel like when you're on? Can I just hear the word zucchero when you sing that? Yeah. So let's see. It's lovely. Now, are you thinking about the length of the body, even though it's like a ooh vowel? Ooh. Do that for me.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Zucchero.
And yeah, the rest of the word zucchero is. I always feel like I'm dropping my jaw a little bit. It's almost like we're chewing, right? Can you do that sentence for me? Zucchero. Yeah.
So I'm starting at zucchero.
Yes, zucchero. Sorry. Yeah. So again, remember those E vowels. They could still be a little bit more, a little bit more peckered instead of E. It's a little bit warmer. Good. Can you try that again? Zucchero. Okay, one more thing. So between tu and que, is the throat as open as it can be. Zucchero. Try that one more time for me. Good. I see. So just a little bit on the gale. Do you feel like the throat is open there for you? Gale. Or is it gale?
I could open it up a little bit more. It's a little tense because I'm trying to back off of the note just a little bit.
Because if anything, that A is where you start to put the foot on the accelerator because the high D is coming up. And then if you want to go to the high D and back off, you can. It's just kind of caress it.
That's time, Miss Jones. I'm sorry. That's time.
Oh God, it's been my pleasure. Thank you so much. Wonderful
Thank
job.
you. I enjoyed all of your advice. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Keep going. Thanks. Oh.
Next, we have ASU senior soprano, Miss Jakia Gadson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Jakia Gadson. I'm a senior here at Alabama State.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, I'm singing Smanie by Mozart. It's from Cosi, tutte. Scostati, avete al tristo effetto d'un desperato affetto. Chiudi quelle finestre, odi alla luce, odi l'aria che spiro, odio me stesso. Ischiernisce il mio tuo, e fuggi per pietà, fuggi, fuggi per pietà, lasciami solo. Nella carne che voci tutte dentro quest'anima che non cessate, finché la doscia mi fa morire, mi fa morire. Esempio misero, l'amor funesto, implacabili che agitate dentro quest'anima più non cessate, finché la dolce mi fa morire, mi fa morire. E se il mio misero d'amor funesto, d'amore vedi, se viva resto, lo suo se d'amore vedi, se viva resto, lo suo vedi, sospiro vedi, se viva resto, lo suo
Yes, yes, yes. Lovely. What a lovely aria, huh? Have you performed this aria before?
I have at my senior recital.
Ah, excellent. Okay. Congratulations on that. Yeah, this is a great opera. It's a really fun opera. What crazy ladies too. Oh my goodness. It's and she's a very a little bit she's having some issues at this time, obviously. What is the hardest part for you? I mean, it seems like with Mozart especially, recitative is obviously one of the most challenging things because it can be done anyway. And it's all thinking about your timing and what do certain words mean to you and what do you think the character is feeling at that moment. Why don't we work a little bit on the recit, and I want to make sure we get to at least the last 2 pages too, with all the repeated, all the E flats. That's like the hardest part, I think. Okay, so good. Why don't we start at Ascolti. Good. Excellent. Let's see it now. Have you thought about slowing down this, or do you want to say it as fast as possible?
I can slow it down. I can try that.
Let's see. And have you thought? Did you do an appoggiatura? I'm trying to remember. Da 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 da. Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, sorry. Do that again, please. Sorry. See, I'm wondering. Okay, what would happen if you took a little bit more time? I mean, she's really, I don't want to be rude. She's having some issues. So really feel like you can, and this is a funny aria too. Think of all the comedic things visually that you could do again when you perform this again, at a concert or something, and visualize that as you're singing them. Try that again. See what it's like to hold the sculls a little bit longer, and then just keep going to see. Is there any way? Could it be a little bit more lengthy vowel? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Great. Keep going. Okay. Great. Good. So, close all the windows, right? Let's see. So think about the text there. All these, quelle finestre. Chiudi. Let's see. Can I hear the chiudi again? Chiudi quelle finestre. Chiudi quelle finestre. Great. I want to make sure we have a nice double L there for the quelle. Take your time. There's nothing under you, so there's no rush. And again, it's so wonderful because you can just kind of pull in and out of the tempi that you want to use. One more time, the chiudi quelle finestre. Watch the roundness of the vowel for finestre. Chiudi quelle finestre. Okay, take your time. Chiudi quelle finestre. Okay, so make sure the note's there. So try the chiudi quelle finestre, I believe, right? Yes. Try that again. Take your time.
Chiudi quelle finestre.
Now it's beautiful. Your voice is beautiful. Do you feel like, is there any way it could still be a little bit of a warm, I always think of everything in an O position for some reason, because it warms it up a little bit. Now, a little bit, I think, for your mouth. Are you doing this for quelle finestre? Today, quelle finestre. It's a little bit warmer. She's still a little, having moments, but make sure the text is still nice and warm. Close all the windows, right? Try that again.
Chiudi quelle finestre.
Okay, keep going.
Odia la luce. Odia l'aria che spiro. Odio me
Good.
stesso.
Great, okay. Okay, so I hate the light, but I hate the air that I breathe. I hate myself, right? I mean, very dramatic. I mean, it's so opera, it's just hilarious. So feel like you could take your time, right? Let's see. Are you doubling? Let's see. I want to make sure you're saying odio la luce. Are you doubling the C accidentally? Odio la luce. Or are you going luce? Can you try that again for me?
Odia la luce.
Yeah, and in a way I'm here, lude. Let's see. Try to see if singing the lu a little bit longer, because I think I'm hearing like a double C. It might be the computer. Okay, odia la luce.
Odia la luce.
And watch the mouth. Keep going with the next phrase. Nice and up and down. Good, like speech.
Odia l'aria che spiro. Odio me stesso.
Okay. So think about the characters in your voice that you could use that a little bit. It's almost like all three should be a little bit different, right? I hate this. I hate this. I hate myself. So it's like, how can you make those be different? We want to make sure they don't all sound the same. Out of all those three, which one do you think is the most dramatic? I mean, for me, I think it would be I hate myself. That's pretty, yeah? So feel like you can paint those words, right? One more time, then we'll keep going. Think about how they can be different. Odio la luce.
Odia la luce. Odia l'aria che spiro. Odio me stesso. Chi schiernisce il mio e mi consola.
Beautiful. So who can console me, right? Think about how you can connect those beautiful notes from the E flat E to the F natural. I mean, again, she's a drama queen. Feel like you could take advantage of that. That's what Mozart is all about here, right? How about the first one? Che scherni, kill me duo. Sorry, right before that. Sorry about that. I can't see.
Chi schiernisce il mio consola.
Beautiful. So for the lower voice, for the E flat to the E, do you feel open before you start? Do me a favor. So if you take your finger, go. Think of the air going down. Let's see. So let's see. I feel that you're probably going for a soft dynamic. Is that what you're thinking? So make sure that you can still connect the voice, right? A little bit. I'm hearing note, note, note. Is it a da? Can you connect that even and still be just as soft as you want to be? Okay, keep going, good.
Fuggi per pietà, fuggi, fuggi.
Great, great, great. So on the high G one, make sure your G, a foot G, the length of the vowel is still very present. A little bit, the high G was beautiful. I wonder, were you thinking more staccato? G per pietà, or are you thinking a line there? Ooh, G per pietà. Do you want a line there instead of staccato? Okay, let's try that last one again. Very good, beautiful. Good. Now just a little bit at the beginning, because I definitely want to get to the end. What are you thinking in all these rests? Because I still think of the voice moving, even though the rest are there. It's almost like a lilt. So we want to make sure you're not ever holding your ear. Okay. So at the same time, I want to make sure, so the rest are there for a reason. I didn't mean to ignore them. The air is still just kind of moving through it. I want, because sometimes people do small, yay, because, not that you were doing that. Just want to make sure that you do exactly the opposite. The rest are there, but it's almost just like she's still moving through them in her madness. Try one more time, very good. Excellent. You sound beautiful. Now, I know you're thinking, try not to count with your body, right? Let's be very settled. She's nuts, but I don't mean to be rude. She's having some issues, but make sure she is still settled. I mean, of course, you can move around because in this aria, it's definitely an opportunity to use and chew up the scenery. But make sure you're not doing like this, because it just makes you go, oh, she's counting. You know this. You're singing it beautifully. Let's see. Why don't we try that again? It's not just right on. It's Good. The word esempio. So try to make sure that you don't reach up to the F, right? Esempio. It's right there. Esempio miso. It's right in the same neighborhood, even though it's a break. It's right in the same neighborhood, right? Can you just sing esempio misero? Esempio misero. Good. So what, no, really beautiful. Are you feeling any kind of breath things like, do you feel like you have your breath with you there? It's probably a hard part there.
Not every time, but
okay.
Every other time I feel like sometimes I set it up right and sometimes I don't.
Okay, let's see.
Makes me feel like I'm running out a lot quicker.
Okay, let's see. So if we do, okay, so if we do it from, let's see, d'amor funesto. Okay, so around now, d'amor funesto. Can we do it from there, please? The middle of page 75. Sorry, yeah. D'amor funesto, no, I get it. Okay. So what I kind of hear on your first, every first note, do you feel like you're exhaling well, or do you feel like you're conserving because you think you might run out?
Probably, I feel like I'm exhaling a lot.
Yeah, because I think the first important note determines, the way you sing it is going to determine how the phrase is going to end. So if you kind of hold back on the first one, it might not be as stable as you want. it still sounds beautiful. But I think the more you lean into, and again, she's getting louder and louder and higher, right? So think about the madness that she's going through as she's getting, and then of course, the last one. Try that again, and then we're gonna, all that, okay? Thank you. Let's see. So what do the sighs feel like? Do those feel comfortable to you, or do you feel like you're exhaling as much as you can?
I feel that time felt comfortable with how we just did the last part. It felt more comfortable with the sighs. I felt like it.
Oh, good. Let's see. Your vowels for let's see. Do you feel? Let's see. Are you making them a little bit? Are they as E as you could give them, or are you using a little bit of a different vowel on the G? There.
Oh, you want me to try again?
Yeah, try that for me. So it's beautiful. Believe it or not, I think you're holding your air. Now I know it's written in the piano right before that. It's written piano, but I feel like you could use the text and to really soar through that high G, and especially to the. And then of course you can play with all of the dynamics you want to. Don't feel like you have to kind of hold anything. Remember, she's a little, and the E vowel, it could just be a little bit rounder. Make sure it does not go horizontally. Good, could you try that again? Lovely. Good. When you're saying that, do you feel the text right here? Do you feel it right here?
No, I feel it like.
Yeah, think of it there for a second, because of course we could say, but sometimes I wonder if that's tiring. If you put those repeated notes, it's right here, and it's really, think about that when you're practicing. I don't want to run out of time, so I want to get to some of the E flat at the end. Let's see what the words.
You have 5 minutes, Ms.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. Okay, perfect. Yes. Can we take it from the second page? Sorry. Great. I want to get to the A flat page. Was it page 77? How about the middle of the page? Was it esempio e misero d'amor funesto? There. You take it from there. Oh, the big build up. Esempio e misero. Middle 77, I think. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Great. So make sure when you get up to those high notes, do you feel like you're lifting off the breath a little bit as you're going to the G flat? Is it d'amor? See what I mean? Don't lift up to the G flat there. Is it d'amor funesto? That's what it is, sorry. Can you take it from d'amor funesto where we just were? Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry. I'm so sorry.
Or we can do d'amor funesto. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, lovely. It's beautiful though. That's fine. Whatever he just did, that's great.
Oh, thanks.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Sorry.
No, of course. I know, it's said so many times. I'm sorry. Exactly where he's saying, yes. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So what do you feel there? Yeah, because that's hard. What do you feel there about the breath? That's one of the hardest parts.
I think I was tensing up because I couldn't remember what was happening right there.
Oh,
I
okay.
was just tensing up and I just ran out immediately.
Okay. Do you just want to try that hard? No. Just the last part where we just stopped, like where the high A flat is about to happen. Yeah, that's fine. Great. Excellent. Have you thought about putting these E flats, because they're all, together, right? And they're all repeated. Think about putting them right here. For a second, can you do D, 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 D? Do that for me. Yes. What do the shoulders feel like? Yeah. Yes. As you're doing these repeated E flats, do you feel a nice crescendo? Because she's going, a little bit, and she repeats it, right? So it's a little bit more of her madness. Do you feel like you're able to really exhale your air out as you're doing these repeated E flats?
No, because I feel like I'm just going da, 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 da.
Yeah, no. Okay, so think of like I don't want to say a slow breath, but think about what it's like literally when you are just going, if you're blowing out your birthday candles. It's just calm. Now, we don't have to hold in anything. And of course, we've got text that's working on top of that. You're not going to run out of breath because it's only like a few notes there. But realize that you don't have to conserve anything. Feel like you can use the text. Try that again. Use the text there. Beautiful. Have you thought about taking a breath? Is that where you took your breath? Have you thought about taking a breath there?
Yeah, we can try.
Yeah, that would
Miss
be.
Jones, that's time. I'm sorry.
Okay. You're spectacular. Thank you so much. Oh my God. The best of luck to you. Fabulous. Oh God.
Thank you, Miss Gadson.
It's great.
So now comes our question and answer session. Those who are watching, please put your questions in the chat. And those who are in the room, if you have questions for Miss Jones, please just step up to the camera and ask your question. I'm going to start. So, Miss Jones, we were talking a little before we started the masterclass, and we were talking about the early music, that you seem to be leaning towards early music now in your career. Can you expound on that a little bit more?
So it's wonderful because years ago I attended Westminster Choir College in Princeton, New Jersey. So of course we got to do a variety of music, but I was involved in like a 40-voice choir where we would do like Monteverdi, Victoria, Palestrina. And at the time, because my voice was darker, I sang mezzo. Now, eventually, I did re-audition and got auditioned for the soprano parts in there too, and it was wonderful because straight tone was something I had never done before until college. And I know a lot of people have difficulty with that.
Yes.
But yeah, it really is kind of like a voice lesson because you still have to use all that air. You can't,
Right.
or it's not going to be a fun night. So yes, because of that, I feel really happy that I could get to utilize that same sound or similar in operas like that. I love music like that. I think it's just really beautiful and very expressive.
And you do it very, very well.
Oh, thank you.
So let's talk about let's stay on early music a little bit. Let's talk about the technique. It's a totally different technique than from Verismo.
It is.
Explain that a little bit because both students here are doing Mozart. Can you talk about that a little bit?
It's hard to describe. So since I've done different kinds of things, because yes, of course I've done some Mozart, and of course earlier we heard me sing a little bit of Puccini. So obviously that's a different sound, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I feel that there's so many different ways to sing things. I'm sure everyone is familiar with this straw technique. Everyone? Okay, so I just recently kind of heard about that maybe a year ago. And then I went to the ENT recently when they were having me do some exercises, and I was amazed how forward, even more forward, the voice can be. So I try to think about, obviously still an open sound, but it's really coming from a very pointed place down here. Similar to what I'm doing when I'm using the straw. Sometimes you don't need to make all these gestures to make a nice big sound, right? It can still be overflowing and fill the room if you really support it correctly and just have the air behind it. And I'm really enjoying kind of, figuring that out and finding out these new sounds that I'm able to make. I love the music a lot.
That's wonderful. Let me ask you, let's go back a little bit to when COVID happened. I do ask all the music masters about this. What did you learn from COVID? I mean, a lot of singers weren't singing, contracts got canceled. What lesson did you come from that came from that, or what did you discover about yourself during that time?
It's very interesting because I think I recall exactly 3 weeks to a month before COVID happened. I was running around working all over the place, and I was telling my friends how tired I was and how I just felt like, oh my God, I just don't think I can do this. When it happened, when everything is taken from you, when everyone is canceling everything that you have, is that then you realize, oh my God, did I bring this on myself because I complained? I felt so silly, because of course during that time, missing music and not communicating that way with my friends and with my colleagues and just the good thing is I got to teach over Zoom. I'd never heard about Zoom until COVID. I'm like, isn't that from our childhood? Come on, a Zoom. That's what I thought it was. But no, if anything, my students saved my life because I had to teach on Zoom and to see their little faces, and they really wanted to learn. And you feel bad for them too. It's like their freshman year, they couldn't really be out and be free and meet their colleagues and work on their craft outside. But I learned how to be grateful. And you think about other ways to make money because it was a very challenging time. But I'm just so happy things are coming back, and because without music, really, where are we?
Absolutely. Okay, so now that we're in this college setting, and this is one of the main questions I ask my music masters. What do you wish you had known when you were in school that you know now, that you get that piece of advice that you can give to the students who sang today and those who are watching?
You know what? Number one, I wish I would have believed in myself a bit more. It seems like I was always having people tell me what they thought about my talent in a good way. And I always thought they were lying. Or just being nice, and people will definitely tell you when you're not good. I've definitely learned that too. But that, I wish I would have believed in myself more because I would have taken more risks. I was always told you have to go to Europe, you have to go there, or you're not going to become what you want to become.
Right.
Now, I'm doing okay, but there's not a day that goes by that I don't think, what would have happened if I packed up after I got out the Opera Center and moved to Europe? Yeah, it might have been a different thing. So that is one of my regrets. But I still think we all have a different path. Maybe at that time, it would not have been the best, I don't know, best for me. I still got to perform in Europe, several times. But yeah, I wish I would have joined one of the fest, done something like that, and learn more languages like really fluently, and just a different environment than America. I wish I would have listened instead of been a little bit stubborn like I was.
Yeah.
And
So
scared.
those opportunities come to these students to sing in Europe or in a summer program or something like that. You would suggest that.
Absolutely. I mean, I only got to do the Ryan Center, which is a great program, obviously. I think I would have been able to establish even more professional relationships if I did Wolf Trap or all these other wonderful places, these summer things that I know a lot of my colleagues have done in the past, and that you see people doing today. It's just, there's so many people, that you're going to meet that are going to think about you for another gig.
Right.
And I think it's very important to always make people realize that you're still out there, that you're still working, that you're trying new things, that, oh, I do this too. And they're like, oh, I didn't know she did that. Maybe we should hire her for that. I mean, it's so different now because we didn't really have, social media back then when we were in our 20s.
Right.
But now I think the kids, the world is their oyster. It's so much more accessible to them that I wish we could have had.
Yeah, we could have had that. Yeah, we would. Things would probably be a little different if we had that.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, if we can bring Dr. Anderson on for a few words. There she is. Hello, Dr. Anderson.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Thank you so much for Ms. Jones for working with our students here at Alabama State University. Our students are so grateful for all of the hard work that you've done, very great technical work you've done with them today, and we really appreciate that. I do want to introduce my my colleagues who are here with me. I have our voice professor colleague, Professor Tyrone Hayes. He's coming around in the camera in a moment.
Okay.
And then we have our Director of Choral Activities, who is also our wonderful accompanist today, Dr. Christopher Sanchak, who you see also.
Yes.
Here we are. So we are the Alabama State University Vocal Choral program here at ASU, and our students have been doing really great. And so we're really grateful for this opportunity to work with you as well as with the CAAPA Masterclass series.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Both students were wonderful, and it was great to hear them. I'm looking forward to hearing them soon. Again, both of them are seniors. I'm looking forward to hearing them outside of school.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Ms. Jones, do you have a few words?
I think I just have to tell everyone, just keep on going. Whether there's so much negativity in the world, but there's so much beautiful things that I think that we can achieve because of music and because we can do it together and we can think of our own projects. I think it's so important to just don't be afraid to make mistakes. Try, don't not do it because you think you're going to fail. Right. I wish I would have made more efforts and did a few different things. Absolutely. Now is the time to just go for broke. Don't be shy.
I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jones. Thank you so much, Dr. Anderson. This concludes our CAAPA virtual masterclass with students from Alabama State University. I hope everyone enjoyed the performances as well as took away some valuable information from Ms. Jones. CAAPA would like to thank the Music Department Chair, Dr. Carly Johnson, Dr. Cordelia Anderson, Mr. Maalik Camp, Ms. Jakia Gadson, pianist Dr. Christopher Sanchak, and finally, Ms. Kimberly E. Jones. Thank you for joining us today for today's masterclass. This marks our last virtual masterclass for spring 2023. Please keep an eye out for our second annual summer in-person masterclass that will be live streamed from the CAAPA Cultural Center in Fort Washington, Maryland, this coming June. Details will be announced in May. If you are interested in having the CAAPA Virtual Masterclass Series partner with your institution, please stay and watch our exit video, which will have our contact information. Thank you and God bless.